Pixels and the Animation is wrapped on the Super Mario Bros. Super Show. Now, TFG and Mike and TV's Mr. Neil head to Hyrule. That's right, listeners, from episode 16 through episode 20 of PETA, Pain in the Ass. We will be covering all 26 episodes of the Legend of Zelda cartoon. Excuse us, podcasters. You can catch Pixels and the Animation every Wednesday on iTunes and www.geekcastradio.com.
Hey! Excuse me, princess!
Wild Wicked Wild Wild West, Jim West, Desperado, Rough Rider. No, you don't want none of this. It's running this, brother, gunning this, Buffalo Soldier. Look, it's like I told you. Any damsel that's in distress will be out of that dress when she meets Jim West. I can't remember the next part.
Hello and welcome to Off the Cuff episode 42. I am your host, as usual, Michael Powers. I'm joined this week by Art Danner.
Assuming you can hear me, yes. Joined by Art Danner.
Or is he a ghost this week? We'll find out when this is done.
Is who a ghost? I didn't hear anybody talking.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the notorious Shanzi Brown.
Notorious. They're going to say the notorious F-A-T-T-Y.
And
I thought it was the notorious G-A-Y.
I kind of opened myself up for that one, much like your mother
every time
did
you
last
bend
night.
over.
I love how we have to trip over ourselves. He's not getting introduced today.
And that chuckle you hear in the background, as always, ladies and gentlemen, is the
Santa Claus.
Sometimes, wow, often absent but never forgotten Joe Reed.
Yay! Hello, everybody.
Santa Claus, nice hipster Claus. Get it right.
Hipster Claus.
That's awesome.
So before we actually started recording, Joe informed us that he actually has been playing some games.
Yes.
That were made in this century.
This century, but not this year. Well,
Very few games have been made in 2014.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, nothing that's been made in the past 6 months, maybe thereabouts. But but that's the story of me. I'm always behind. I can't.
Late to the party, fashion.
I gotta wait for all of the crap to disappear so I can find out what those diamonds are. The diamonds
You just described every poop I've ever had.
Nice. You sift through them and look for diamonds?
Why not? If you understood the pressure and the heat that was coming out of me, you'd understand.
Sometimes I miss half of the audio for this was missing.
Oh, that's.
Or I should say a quarter. I should say a quarter of the audio of this was missing.
Fuck you.
Feces.
Just wish. As long as Sean's audio is missing, I'm fine. I can't afford to get burned twice in 7 days.
Anyways, Joe, what have you been playing?
I feel dishonest having last year made Walking Dead my game of the year, having not played it, but I think the not playing it was a compliment because it was so good that I didn't want any of the characters to die, and that's a joke that I've been telling whenever somebody asks me, "What are you doing?" Well, I'm playing Walking Dead now. I didn't want to play it because I didn't want any of the characters to die, and I know that everybody that I love is going to die because it's Walking Dead. But I'm playing that. I'm hitting it hard, and what am I? I'm halfway through 3 now. And yeah, I was headed out of the house, and I played the last this one part. I don't know how much spoilers I want to get into, but I'm crying, just like sobbing. I need to leave. I need to drive and go pick up my son from daycare. But you're putting. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, it just killed me. And so yeah, it absolutely deserves to be my game of the year, even though I haven't beaten it yet. Just it's very emotional, wonderful, enveloping kind of. I'm in that story experience.
To be clear, ladies and gentlemen, he's talking about his game for 2012.
Yes, 2012. Was it 2012? Yes,
Yep.
it was.
Yes.
2013
Yes, it was.
Hasn't happened yet, even though it's 2014 now. Got it. Also downloaded DuckTales, the HD remake. Every time we say that, somebody's got to do it. All right.
You.
Excellent. But yeah,
That sounded like someone just dropped in a soundbite of someone saying "excellent."
No, that was Monty Burns. Excellent.
But just the
And
way
now
it
it sounds like crap when you say it the second
but
time.
just the way it was said that first time, it sounded like I dropped in a soundbite, and that was not the case.
that was me. You're welcome. I was not going to download this. I was not going to pay the money for it. I didn't think it was worth it. I'd just gone and put the thing in my NES about when the game dropped and played it. Like, okay, I've had enough of that. And I have downloaded it I'm borrowing Art's PlayStation something or other. But I think I have to go back and actually pay money for it because it's exquisite. It's the voice acting, the fact that they've tacked a plot onto it that actually is, I don't know. It doesn't. Does it feel tacked on? What do you guys? You played it.
That makes sense.
how would
I
you
have not
describe
played it.
I haven't played it either.
I thought y'all did.
Nope.
Play what?
DuckTales?
Yeah.
Woo!
This won't get old at all.
It depends on how long this topic goes on.
Just don't say the name of the game again.
I'll try not to.
What game are we talking about again?
No. First
So
person to answer that question gets hung up on.
All right. Sure thing, boss.
DuckTales?
Woo!
How do I hang up on Danny?
Don't hang up on me. It's not cool. It's not cool.
All right.
Anyways, you were talking about DuckTales?
Woo!
Really? Oh, there you go. I was gonna say, like, really, no one's gonna say it now.
Anyway, it's good. It adds enough to make it interesting, and the voice acting is exquisite. I think they have all of the voices back. Gizmo didn't sound like Gizmo, maybe, but Launchpad's there. The kids, Mrs. Beakley. I thought that was just a touch of love that they didn't ever have to do, and totally worth the download, I think. And brings me back to that good classic 8-bit side-scrolling stuff. Simple.
Did you manage to get through it in one sitting like I did?
No. Because I keep playing it with Oliver around. Oliver likes the ducks, but
If I'm not mistaken,
that's good.
is it not on sale right now, or is it going to be free with PlayStation Plus soon? I think it's either on sale or it's going to be free soon.
It might be. I don't remember.
That's not driving me crazy, but I feel like I don't want to buy anything because I know it's going to be free. I mean, BioShock Infinite is free on PlayStation Plus right now.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Now I don't have to give you any money. I was gonna buy it someday, but
And I can't remember if I said this last week, actually. So there's so many free games there. I don't know. Sleeping Dogs is free on Xbox Live. I don't know if I said that last week or not.
really,
Yeah.
wait,
The-
you have to have
Yes.
Live
Yeah, okay. I don't have that anymore.
in your face.
Because lives for pussies.
Is that
But-
the newest game
This is-
Live is given for free?
Yeah,
I think so.
that's amazing.
It's the
because
newest full length game. I don't know about the XBLA games that it's given out, but I think full length game, yes.
Yeah, I think since they started competing with PlayStation Plus with the free games, I think that's the newest one.
I'm paying for the service anyways. I'll take the free games.
Now I will say this for the Xbox Live version: at least when you lose your Live subscription, you still get to keep the games.
Yeah,
Do you?
Yep.
I was always wondering.
Yep.
Because with PlayStation, it's not. As soon as you stop with Plus,
Well,
you lose access. You have the game still download, but you lose access to it.
yeah, but you know what? At least if I keep my subscription going, then I can at least get newer games versus games that are like $1.
Hey, free games.
yay free.
So DuckTales.
Ooh.
it's nice. It's totally good and worth money, and I wish I'd have bought it earlier. And now I'm gonna go back and give it money.
Anything
And I
else?
think now, I'm sure there's been something else. Oh, played the demo for Wolf Among Us. I'm going to be buying that.
It's on sale.
That's exquisite.
I've still yet. I
I
downloaded the
totally
first
know.
episode. I still haven't played it yet.
Buy it. You downloaded the season pass off of me.
I didn't know that. I thought you downloaded just the first episode. Oh, thank you. Well, I'm going to
No,
buy it anyway.
That should be the season pass.
I'm one of those weird people who pirates things and then actually goes and buys them.
I do that.
To support the game.
I do
right?
that too.
Absolutely.
If you right now it's on sale, Joe, for like $13.
Yeah, totally going to do it. I hope it's still on sale for our listeners listening to this episode on a time delay.
It'll be on until Tuesday at 2 p.m., 3 p.m.
Yay.
Or is it just when they update the store, which is like 4 or 5?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. They're just
there's a lot of good sales this week though.
Yeah,
especially if you guys haven't played it. Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon is like $3.50 this week on PSN and totally worth every bit of money. Because that is just so
I
awesome.
still have never played that.
Oh god, it's so good.
I don't doubt that it's good. I just can't get into it. It's probably because I can't see what's going on half the time.
Well, isn't it like crazy lights everywhere?
Yeah.
and-
Like 1980s neon laser everywhere.
Like Tron.
Yes.
What's the setting? Is it city, jungle?
It's the exact same island from Far
It's
Cry
the
3,
island
just
from Far
completely
Cry 3.
reskinned.
It's like that island mixed with Tron and like a bad 80s action movie.
Yep,
And dinosaurs.
And
dinosaurs.
Well,
There are dinosaurs
they're
in it?
dragons.
Sold.
They're
Well,
dragons.
there's the blood
dragons look
dragons.
like
They take the
dinosaurs.
dragons and make them the size of, oil tankers.
I wish they would have. I wish somebody would have finished the Jurassic Park mod for Far Cry.
That would have almost made me give money.
I would have
to buy a computer.
crapped my pants. That game was scary enough with the normal predators.
Although interesting enough, I was watching a Robus video recently, and he was playing a first-person shooter that came out in like '98. It was a Jurassic Park game. I wish I could remember the name of it right now, but I was looking.
Trespasser?
Yes, Trespasser.
I love Trespasser. I was just thinking about this the other day and thinking I need to get it loaded up on an old computer.
Well, you know what's interesting that you were thinking about it? There is a group of people that are updating the game using the Far Cry 3 engine.
Oh.
And it's supposed to come out later this year.
Is it just a mod or?
If I don't think you could port the game to the Crisis. I think they're starting from scratch.
Damn.
Like it's a straight port.
Before that game out, I played the demo and did all sorts of mods to it, downloading them and patching them in, got rid of the timer, made the T-Rex spawn in the area, and I spent untold hours with just that one little demo map. And because the physics were so, revolutionary at the time, they're probably crap now. But
Yes, the video that I watched. Oh my god!
oh my god! Right here on my desk is the disc. Right here.
What?
I have it. It's right here. Oh, I'm totally gonna go try to install this.
He's like, it's right next to my copy of Zork. It's crazy.
I'm sure Zork is in that stack. And there's Duke Nukem 3D Kiloton collection. Daedalus Encounter. All right, Flight Unlimited 3. Great. I found a whole bunch of PC games.
Have fun finding the patches and the drivers to play those.
I know. I hope this thing won't run, I don't think. Windows 95 required, Pentium 166 megahertz.
For some reason, this just took me back to I remember installing Altered Beast on my buddy's computer, and it was on 9 diskettes. So, oh, God.
Oh, God, I love this game. So scary. I hated those velociraptors.
I remember loading Scorch onto a computer using a 3x5 floppy.
I want to get Scorch. I want more modern versions of Scorch.
Oh, Scorch it's Worms.
Yeah, that too. Scorch and Worms is getting
Worms is
complex
pretty
when it's simpler.
Worms is pretty much 2D Worms is pretty much the more modern version of Scorch, even though I don't think anything is as cool as a Funky Bomb and Scorch.
Won't you take me to
Funky
Bomb?
Won't you take me to
DuckTales?
Bunch of old. Ooh.
Lovely.
So, anyways,
Played lots of stuff. Trespasser's coming out. I got to get that in.
well, it's Far Cry 3. You're not going to have anything that can run it.
Yeah, well, that'll
Far
make
Cry
me.
is
That'll
a
make
very-
me.
I mean,
PC.
Crisis 3.
Yeah,
Crisis
you
3.
need it's Christ. It's gonna in Crysis 3?
They're using the Crytek engine.
The Crytek engine to do it.
So you're gonna have to have a PC version of Crysis 3 in order to even run it.
Or not really. The Crytek, they could build a standalone game just using the engine. It's not a total conversion mod for Crysis.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Learn computers
I'm
again.
finally getting up to speed. I'm sorry.
Okay, Batman. All right.
Fear me.
No.
Why not?
Have you been playing any games, Danner?
Gonna go cry now.
Woo!
What? No. What the hell? That's like I'm watching TV and I have the camera hooked up to I have the camera for my PlayStation, and you say PlayStation and it brings up all the voice commands for it so you can turn it off with your voice. And every once in a while, my wife and I are watching TV, the little prompt will come up, meaning that you've triggered the voice activation stuff for the system. That's exactly what you just did. Nobody said anything remotely close to the
what?
D word.
To what? Like,
And you just go ahead and throw out your woo.
now you did it too. Aha!
No, I got you doing it. Ha 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 ha.
So, Danner.
I've played. I just looked at it, and I think I said I thought I'd put like a ton of hours into Assassin's 4, and it turns out I've only put 23 hours into it so far.
Oh, only?
Only. It just
I've heard, if you do everything in the game, it's about 100 hours.
I doubt that.
If you do every single thing.
If you suck.
Yeah, there's
This is coming from the guy who to do a game has to trace the border.
Every single area is unlocked. Every single area is 100%. I'm only in sequence 9 though.
I don't even know where I am. I have too many things I'm playing. None of them new.
I've maxed out my ship. I've defeated my first legendary. I've defeated my first legendary. I've gotten totally boned by my second group of legendaries because there's 2 boats in the second group.
Yes. And they go on both sides of you and fuck you up.
Oh, I noticed. I took one of them down and then had like a sliver of life left, and then the other one took me out. And I want to say I only have I have to go hunt down some sharks to get some more crafting stuff done.
You don't have to. If you have lots of money, there's a couple of the places you can buy it.
I got my Templar armor.
I just got my Templar armor.
I'm 1 Mayan keystone away from having my Mayan assassin's outfit.
Armor so bad. Deflects bullets.
Yeah, and it's I really dig Assassin's 4. It's something special.
Well, save it because we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Besides that, I've literally tonight for about a half an hour while I was waiting for Puppeteer to download on my PS3, I played the first 40 minutes of Beyond Good and Evil HD.
How was that?
Really good. I'm actually incredibly surprised at how much I like that game, especially out of the 2 recent old HD upconverts I've downloaded recently, which is Okami and that. I like it way more than I like Okami.
See, with the HD converts, it's always like, okay, you made it look prettier, but sometimes it's still that gameplay is so dated.
Like
it's like
Dexter.
It's where it's like, oh, it looks better, sure, but that's not all it was.
The gameplay doesn't really feel, I don't know, as dated as I thought it would. It does kind of feel like a Jak and Daxter game, though.
Oh, I said that because Jak and Daxter is one of those. The HD version is one of those ones where they made it look prettier, but it doesn't. It still plays like it came out.
Well, I mean,
ago.
it kind of. I don't know. It's hard to describe Beyond Good and Evil because of the fact that it's not really like many other games.
Because it's not really good or evil.
Woo!
Okay.
So
that's gonna be my catchphrase from now on whenever you introduce me.
That'll be a very short.
I don't know.
For you.
I think the cult status of the game is well deserved. I can see. I mean, I got to get further into the game and get into it, but I'm really digging it so far, which I don't know. It's been kind of nice being able to, have some time to go back and play some older games. Because I'm hoping to actually sit down and tackle Snake Eater before Ground Zeroes comes out. Because I have that on Vita, and I've been really meaning to hunker down and actually get through that without falling asleep in the opening cinematic.
Snake Eater or Peace Walker?
Snake Eater.
Okay.
Because I've never played Metal Gear 3.
Oh.
I've played Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, and I've tried to play 4.
If you can play 4, they explain the entire franchise to you 3 times.
I know, but I've been wanting to play 3. I feel like I want to sit down, I want to play 3, and then I want to play through 2 again and get those off my plate. I would convince myself that I should play the original Metal Gear and then Metal Gear
NES
2.
version?
Yes, because it's on the HD version for the
Sweet.
HD collection for the 360 and the Vita. Also have Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 on it. And I played 20 minutes of the first Metal Gear, and that game is just so balls hard that I was just like, fuck it. I can't. My brain doesn't work in Nintendo 8-bit challenging as hell games anymore. My brain cannot go back to that.
My brain couldn't figure out Metal Gear when I was old enough, when I was that age to play those. So
I don't know. I think 10 or 12-year-old me would be able to sit down and like actually have the tolerance and be able to go through it.
See, 10 or 12-year-old me was more used to like playing Mario games and stuff like that, whereas there's a certain level of patience that I did not have in my gaming.
Yeah, you couldn't. Well, I think stealth games themselves are very anti-little kid.
I put 80 hours into Final Fantasy 3 on the Super Nintendo, or Final Fantasy 6 to the normal ones of us, and I played it 3 times through.
Yeah,
so
but that's not the same thing as a stealth game on the Nintendo.
I played Fester's
The stealth
Quest
game on the Nintendo was when you ducked in Mario for the fire ring to go around you.
I was gonna say when you duck down on the white boxes to go behind the level, but
If I
when you climb on the
enjoyed
fence and flip through the other side.
and could play through Fester's Quest without getting frustrated and hurting people, then I'm pretty sure 10-year-old me could have gotten through Metal Gear. But it was never something that was ever on my radar.
see, Metal Gear 3, there were 3 games in 2004 that I'm pretty sure I've told this story before, but this was one of the games that was on my Christmas list for that year, along with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and Metroid Prime 2. I had all of them picked out for Christmas, and I think my cousins stole them from my grandmother's when I came home to get them for Christmas. So at the end of that story is that I didn't end up getting those games for Christmas. Thus, I was not able to play those games when they were like a thing. And I found it very hard to go back and play them. Basically, not being able to play Metroid Prime 2 when it first came out kind of knocked me out of my love for that series, as well as Grand Theft Auto. And
so what you're saying is your cousin ruined your childhood.
Not really my childhood, because I was like in my 20s, but he ruined my gaming
Mike,
habits.
None of us here are adults.
He ruined my gaming habits for like a year and a half. But
You should burn his house down.
I probably should. I have ceased to
Woo!
communicate with him. So there's that.
I was going to say that just seems like the appropriate response for that type of a scenario.
To not communicate with him anymore?
No, to
burn his house down.
Oh, okay. What's really funny is my friend who's really big into Metal Gear, he wanted me to play Metal Gear Solid 3, so for my birthday in 2007, he bought me the PS2 version, like the subsistence version. And I had my HD TV at the time, and I tried hooking my PS2 up to that and putting it in the widescreen mode that Metal Gear Solid supports, and I put it in. I got through that opening cutscene. I immediately took it out and never played it again.
And you cried.
I would have if it hadn't been my birthday.
Bad. The polygons. The polygons.
What polygons? It was just like a smudge on my screen. Didn't know
It's
what.
like original GoldenEye graphics.
I think the last PS2 game I actually played was Amplitude.
Was it I'm sorry, I can't play this. This looks terrible. I'm going to go back to my Xbox 360.
Man, I wish I could have said that.
and then burn his house down.
But no, I never. But yeah, that's I. But I did play Metal Gear Solid 4, and they do. There's a really cool. I don't know if it's still available. There is an encyclopedia you can download on the PlayStation Network.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Actually, it's kind of neat because you can click on any one person and you can drill down into it, and it tells you all the information. And if there's like basically it's like a 3-dimensional website, so you can keep drilling down and finding out about the web that is the Metal Gear Solid franchise.
I'm literally falling asleep over here.
That's like every single time you talk.
Thank you, Danner.
Just got your back, Mike, against that puss bag over there.
Anyways,
I'm not a puss bag, and I'm sure you have his back. Well, he's probably not wearing any pants, too.
It's the only way I know how to cover his back.
Sir. That is none of your business.
I can hear the moans from one state over.
That is between Danner and myself.
Woo!
Well, I'm looking forward to hear what you have to say about Metal Gear Solid 3. So,
well, I gotta find the time. I should have time because I'm pretty close to being done with Assassins 4,
and you're not playing games with me, so.
And Thief isn't out until February, and that's probably going to be the next game I actually pick up.
Thief. Also.
I'm so excited for Tomb Raider.
I can't. I told Joe this the other day when I was at his house. I'm wrestling with it. It looks really good, but I can't warrant dropping $60 on a game I've already played through.
Trade it in.
I already sold it.
Oh, well, that's your problem.
I sold it for $30 the week that it dropped to $20 because that's the kind of guy I am.
All right. Been playing anything else?
Did that person find out and they're like,
you can always borrow my copy, so.
Well, and that's kind of also, I either figured I'll wait until it drops to $20 or I'll just borrow it after you get done with it.
Oh, okay. I see. That's just become standard procedure then.
Well, not necessarily. I just know that you're an incredibly giving person and you like me more than most other people. And that you hate money.
I love money, which is why
I don't think you even know what a savings account is.
I have a savings account. I have 2 of them.
There's like a whole $3 in there.
Hey.
He's like, I have a savings account where I keep my comic books. Okay?
No, it's where I put the money for my new TVs.
That's 4K TV.
I need to get another iPad.
That is 4K TV money. Stay out of this.
It's good. You'll have a TV and nothing to play on it.
Surprised you don't have an Oculus Rift savings account over there.
I would if they would put out a price for it. If I knew how much I was saving for. All I hear about is how awesome that thing is and no prices.
They're out now, right? You can buy one.
No.
I've
never seen a price. How does
that guy that does
they're giving them to press.
They're Kickstarter backers.
Oh. Have you checked out their page? Nothing?
I'm not willing to pay anyone that's in a Kickstarter thing. I would like to pay them directly.
No. I'm saying if you check out their Kickstarter page, I mean,
isn't it technically when you're paying into a Kickstarter, aren't you paying them?
You are paying them, but I don't want to. I would rather pay them directly. Like, I'd rather.
You would rather pay the marked up price from Best Buy than the. Never mind. Okay, yes, let's continue.
Anyways, I didn't say I'd get it from Best Buy. I just said I'd rather buy it from them. Not through.
I was just using them as an example.
Anyways, anything else, Danner?
No, I downloaded a few things with that PlayStation sale, but the other portion that was incredibly sad to me was the fact that when I opened up the 14 for 14 sale and looked at most of the stuff that already said purchased underneath it, I was like, oh, Jesus.
Yeah, me too.
I bought Killzone Mercenaries for Vita also. But now the problem is I got to clean off my memory card because it's a 3 gig install with another 2 gigs of updates. So, yay.
Chauncey, you haven't been playing anything, right? That we're talking about?
Just with his penis.
I'm playing some more Ghosts. I will say, okay, you guys play Ghosts.
We play the better version of Ghosts.
Whatever.
The less crappy version looking of Ghost.
Suck a bag of dicks, Danner, seriously.
Like how he attacks you and I'm the one that started it.
You can hang up on me. Like, you can't.
Yay, immunity.
I'll Are the fucking guard dogs the most pain in the ass things?
Yes.
I literally had a shotgun. I had picked up somebody's shotgun. Killed the guy and pumped 2 rounds into the dog, and it was 10 feet away,
It's
and
3
still did
rounds.
the auto kill.
It's 3
Yeah,
rounds.
3 rounds.
It's 3 rounds with anything. Guy in hardcore, guys can die in 1 hit, but the dog still takes 3.
And that dog can kill like what are they called when you have the knives in the body armor? Maniac.
Is it really sad that I want the skin mod that's coming out this week?
Yes, it's really sad that you want to give money to Infinity Ward.
Wait, the
wolf.
The wolf? Oh wait, that's just coming out?
Yeah.
Oh, it's already out on Xbox.
Well, everything comes out sooner.
I'm
on
not
Xbox.
going to pay for it. I don't see the point of it.
Well, if I had the season pass, I wouldn't have to pay for it. But I haven't committed to just dropping $50.
Okay,
they're also making it so you can look like Michael Myers too.
Here's what's really annoying about this conversation. We have been trying to get Shanzi to play Call of Duty for 2 years. Well, he's been over there playing freaking Battlefield.
And now he's playing.
And we all go.
No.
And we
had
jump
Call of
over,
Duty.
and you go ahead and go back.
Playing for months. I get rid of it, and you're all like, "Oh, let's play again."
We go on to something else, and he goes back to playing Call of Duty by himself.
No, we all bought Modern Warfare 3, and you played it for like a week, and then we're like, I'm done, I'm going back to Battlefield. And then you sold your copy, and then we just couldn't play with you anymore because you were sitting over there just, look at me, I'm playing Battlefield.
Hey, Shanzi, are you playing Battlefield 4?
No.
Good, because no one really is.
No, man, there's so many problems with that. First of all, I'm waiting for next gen. Second of all, I'm waiting till probably like 7 more patches come out.
You're gonna be waiting a long time.
Yeah. Plus, it's not really high on my list. The most excited I am for multiplayer games right now is going to be Evolve.
Yeah, that sounds special.
It's not special just because it's Turtle Rock. Let's make no illusions. We know nothing about the game.
The 4v1 combat seems just so cool.
Oh, yes, I agree.
For anyone who hasn't been paying attention, it's for... Are they saying humans or they're just saying soldiers? I don't even know. Whatever.
It's for alien
4 soldier
hunters.
Yeah, right. And they all have different... You can pick different classes, different abilities, whatever. There's those 4, and then there's another human control person that's playing as... They're calling it the Beast, right?
I don't know, but if this conversation doesn't end with you saying that I'm looking forward to Destiny, I'm hanging up.
Woo!
No, I am. No, I'm saying It's Evolve. Of course it's Destiny. Fuck you. Destiny. What is it? The Division?
Yep.
But that got pushed back, right?
They got pushed back because the thing that they showed us at E3 was actually a tech demo. They haven't actually even started on the game yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that tech demo almost sold the game.
Well, let's be fair. What they showed they didn't even have a release window at E3. No. It was just, we're making this, and here's what the gameplay is going to be like, and what it's going to look like, and it looks pretty. So, yeah, I'm excited for all those.
Yeah,
I'm excited for all those.
The funny thing is that although all of these multiplayer games come out, the ones that I'm most excited for are the co-op ones, not the.
I was going to say the only thing. The more and more I hear about Evolve, unfortunately, it's the exact same 3 sentences of information every single time because I know there's not a lot of info out of there. But the more and more I hear about it, the more and more I think of how much it's going to be like Left 4 Dead and how it's probably going to be really cool for about 3 weeks.
Left 4 Dead was cool for longer than that. Left 4 Dead 2 sucked after like a month.
Left 4 Dead was awesome right up until they're like, we're going to charge you for Left 4 Dead 2, and everyone went, fuck you, and stopped playing. That and Borderlands happened.
See, I liked Left 4 Dead 2, but everybody else stopped playing it. That was the problem. Is I think me and Joe were the only ones that were playing it, and everybody was like pulling teeth to get the rest of you guys to.
I stopped playing it because I couldn't clear a level.
I thought it was okay.
I couldn't clear any level on any difficulty.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm gonna miss, in Evolve that I loved in the Left 4 Dead is when you're playing as the bad guys. In that case, it was the zombies. That euphoric feeling of we just fucked over the survivors. Yes, You can't do that because you're by yourself. And I mean, are they going to make it so unless you're in a party with that person, you can't talk to them? Or are you going to be able to hear them the whole time?
Well, see, that's what I'm wondering if it's going to be more of a like a journey-esque style multiplayer, which is kind of like what everyone's been pushing lately, where you will sign on.
Don't really know who you show up with. It's just some random guy.
Yeah, you'll sign on and be like, do I want to play with like a group of my friends and go and play, or like do I want to get matched? Do I want to play as like the hunters and get like put in a group of 4 people, or do I want to go on and play as the monster and I'll just get thrown into someone's lobby?
Although I have a feeling it's going to be like zombie. It's going to be like playing as the zombies. Everyone's going to want to be the monster.
Well, but then there's us. We'll play. The 4 of us will want to play together.
Yeah.
And we'll play as the humans and we'll go against the monsters.
I'm kind of hoping that you play in a group of 5 and then the monster is randomly generated out of your group.
It just picks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that used to happen when you jump into a lobby with Left 4 Dead. People would start up the lobby. They'd see that they weren't going to be able to be the zombies and they just back out. They're like, nah, I don't want to play through a level, and then maybe be the zombies next time. They'll just back out. I really hope that doesn't happen. I hope the game is quick, but not
together.
We also all know that the Left 4 Dead community was a special community because everybody in that community was the biggest bag of dicks I've ever met.
The game kind of encouraged that.
I know, but
that game was all
the
about.
most rampant douchebaggery I think I've ever seen in a game that game.
I don't know about. Okay, are we talking about like on the 360? Because the one experience I have playing on the PC with Left 4 Dead 2 is probably my best experience.
Oh no, I'm talking 360 all the way.
Okay.
I've never had a bad experience playing with it on Steam at all. I'm just talking about the 360 Left 4 Dead community made the Halo community look like My Little Pony.
Because my one experience with playing Left 4 Dead on PC was I spawned into the level where you have to get into the mall and put gas in the car.
That one sucked.
Yeah, well, I didn't have a controller, so I'm using a mouse and keyboard, which I've never done for Left 4 Dead, so I didn't know what the controls were exactly. And I was playing with 3 other people that I didn't know. I didn't have a headset or anything like that, but my mic was on, and I could hear them trying to talk to me. And I knew that the objective was to put gas in the car, so I was like, well, I don't really know how to do anything that well, so I'm going to run around and get the gas cans and try to put them in the car. And the first gas can I picked it up, but I couldn't figure out how to put it back down. And I ended up
just running around with the gas can.
No, I ended up throwing it on the ground in front of the car, and then I accidentally shot it.
And they're like, accidentally happened there.
And then they go, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I've never played this with a mouse and keyboard." And then I just left. Like, this is not for me. And that was the last time I played Left 4 Dead 2.
I don't know. I still remember. I can't remember if it was in 1 or 2. There was the one level where it was you had to go up the long elevator, and if the zombies got to it quick enough, they could push a generator in front of the door so you couldn't get out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could get on top of the elevator and drop in.
I feel
so you just drop in and slowly take away their health.
I just feel like the level design in Left 4 Dead was way more bite-sized and just fun. And I feel like the level design in Left 4 Dead 2 made you feel like there were more places to go, but that really wasn't the case, which kind of bummed me out.
I don't know. That game never needed to be that open. Linear made it better because there was nothing more shitty than being a zombie waiting around a corner and be like, yeah, I'm going to get him, and they fucking don't go that way. You're like, God damn it. Spent 5 minutes waiting.
And Left 4 Dead 2 introduced way too many special infected.
Yeah.
2 more?
No, there was a bunch more.
There was jockeys. There was chargers.
The female version of the vomit ones.
Yeah.
Oh, the spitters. Okay, so it's 3.
There was more. There was another, and then there's the modified witch.
Yeah.
There was the tank. There was the I don't know. I felt like 4 was good because you had like 4 good guys and then you had 4 special infected, and the second one at least has 4 more. It was just
and then every once in a while the tank.
Yeah, but anyway.
The same thing, I can say the same thing about Left 4 Dead 1 as I do about Borderlands 1. They both felt like incomplete games, and the sequels were infinitely better. But I still think Borderlands has more to go. I'm totally behind it.
But I think Borderlands 1 was a more fun game all around than Borderlands 2.
I think it's because it was new to us.
I think it's because it was broken and being broken made it fun. Like that was like one of the first games I can remember spending time on a message board going, okay, how do we do this? How do we get into the vault after it's been shut?
Oh,
you
man,
know, I can do this
I swear
ridiculous
to
thing
God,
where
I'm
we
gonna
just
have the
fall to the
Nang
floor.
flashbacks about throwing stupid med packs at that wall.
Oh, Jesus.
But anyways, all right.
Why are we talking about Borderlands 1?
Okay, so let's get on to our questions so we don't have to keep this going for too much longer. How does that even warrant? Never mind.
At this point, I'm just doing it to make you react.
Okay, this question comes from Justin Washington.
Comes. What?
Really?
Where? Who?
Really?
Things? Penis.
Okay. Question for all of you. I have never played any of the Assassin's Creed games, but I love pirates, and the last one looks like a lot of fun. Could I play that without playing the other ones? Would it make sense, or would I be lost?
I think it would make sense, but all the stuff that happens outside of the Animus, you're gonna be like, what? And
You know what?
that's
Go on
very
YouTube.
fleeting,
I'm
and you can
sure-
skip most of it.
I'm sure, because I mean, as shitty as this is, the best parts of the last games, the non-Desmond stuff, is the stuff that doesn't carry over. It's always the Desmond stuff that carries over,
Yeah.
because that's the real world. And if there isn't, I'd be shocked. There's got to be a YouTube video that just has the Desmond parts, or just sums up the story.
Or
Go to
could you-
Wikipedia.
Or could you just play Assassin's Creed the way I do, which is skip the Desmond parts as fast as possible and don't give a damn about them?
Yeah, because
Totally.
literally all you have to do is like run up to you can hack terminals, and there's literally all you have to do is like hack a terminal for the first thing, and then another one for the second portion, and I haven't gotten to the third, so I don't know.
And I don't think and those, it's just like those parts with the other games, with the exception of 3 made you eventually you'd have to do the Desmond stuff, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, this one you don't have to. You can just jump right back out, do the little part it makes you do, and then jump right back in.
Oh, wait,
went-
whoa. You could do that in 3, but by the time the game was over, they made you go and do that stuff.
Yeah, no, you don't have to.
Have you beaten 4?
No, but I've read about the end just to make sure that wasn't the case. I mean, but I like doing that stuff in this one. I find it rewarding to go find those stuff out.
Yeah, and I was gonna say there's
it's like, well, I know I'm gonna have to do this bullshit, so I better do it now.
well, because of not playing the other games, also there's gonna be like some subtle references that you're gonna miss, but I don't honestly.
Is it in the pirate stuff, or is it in the...
No,
No,
it's all the stuff it's literally all the stuff that's outside. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah,
There's a few things that they reference. I mean, no, there's really nothing
as far
inside
as I
the
know,
pirate.
there's
mention
only
Altair at all.
connection between
No.
the actual in the pirate world and this one and any other ones. It's at the last name.
Kenway's
Kenway.
the only real connection,
And that
most of the stuff
and- yeah.
they're not even chasing the apple in this one. So I mean, literally, it's all different stuff, and I don't think there's anything. Yeah, unless there's something towards the end that might connect into it, but I don't. So far, there's absolutely nothing that says.
Oh yeah.
You need to, because the nice thing about the game is the fact that your main character isn't even an assassin technically.
He
so
doesn't give
he's
a
learning about
shit,
stuff
really.
as you're learning about stuff. So that's what's kind of neat, especially for somebody who's never played an Assassin's game. This is probably one of the best jumping on points in the series.
Oh yeah,
and
easily.
Plus, it doesn't feel like any of the other games.
Okay, now, on that regard, is this kind of like... Does this you said it was a good jumping on point, and I would agree with you, but I've played the other ones. Is this kind of like an Uncharted thing where if you play this one, you're not going to be able to play the other ones?
Yes.
I wouldn't say that, because I honestly think you could.
There's differences. Like
Do
you
you
can
really-
go back.
I don't
and
think
play
you'd be
the
able to
old
go back
games.
and play the first one, because I
No,
think after
that's-
playing
Yeah,
any of the
nobody
other-
can go back and play the first
Nobody
one.
can go back and play the first one because the controls are just so almost there, but not quite. And then once you see them get it right in Assassins 2, it's very hard to go back and play Assassins 1.
And the part 1 is very repetitive. Like there's only one way to do everything. You get it to a new city, you find the 3 little clues, and then you do the assassination. 3 little clues, then the assassination. 3 little clues, and it repeats all 15 15. I think it's 15 steps that you have to get to beat the game.
I tell most people that the first one's skippable.
First one's skippable.
But I would
you
never
can
say
skip
that about the Uncharted franchise.
You can skip Brotherhood.
I want to skip Uncharted 1.
To be honest, I mean, you could probably get away with just doing Revelations.
But I'm too attached to Ezio, and I think everybody.
I'm
needs
not
to
saying
play
I
all of
would.
them.
I mean, I think people could still enjoy those games, but I think you could get away without playing the rest of his thing and just do Revelations, and you still get the gist of it.
That's
because I know, but he's reflecting on his life throughout the whole thing. So, and even in that one, there's parts flashing back to Altair. So you wouldn't miss as much, I think, if you just did that one.
But unfortunately, you have to do the tower defense portion of that game, which is terrible.
I did it once, never had to do it again.
I did the first one, and then that was the end of it. I was like, nope, not doing that again.
I never had problems with it, and it happened a couple times where I needed to go do it, but my districts were getting attacked, but I never had a problem with it. I beat it when they set up my towers. It was tower defense. It was great. I don't know. I liked it. I'm weird though.
AC4 perfectly playable. It's just a Pirates game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
The literally the only thing that links this to the other Assassin's games is the name.
Do you feel like naming it Assassin's Creed 4 did it a disservice?
No.
I think so.
No, because it's kind of like, remember when they were doing Modern Warfare?
Mm-hmm.
They were just going to call it Modern Warfare, but then they changed it last minute to Call of Duty Modern Warfare. They didn't push anyone away from it by calling it Assassin's Creed, I don't think. Everyone who saw it was going to play it anyways, but they may have drawn more people in that were fans of the franchise.
But don't you think they could have spun this off into its own IP?
No, this
no.
needed to be Assassin's Creed, not 4, but Assassin's Creed. Isn't it Black Flag?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it just needed to be Assassin's Creed
4,
Black Flag. They should have dropped the 4.
I think they could have dropped the 4.
That's what
it's
I think they should have
dropped. Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Get rid of the numbering, turn it into its own spiel, you know?
Yep.
Because I know there's talk for Blood Dragon becoming its own game.
It should. Oh my god, it should.
I know,
I'd
but
buy
how?
that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, okay, it would be cool and stuff, but like I said, like from what I've seen, I haven't played the game, so take this with a grain of salt. I've played I think there was a demo, wasn't there?
The entire game is basically a demo.
Yeah, but that color scheme, I mean, it looks really cool, but it pushed me off that everything's really dark.
Yeah, but there's other ways that you can. There's other like 80s and 90s references that you could do.
Oh, I would totally. That would be awesome. But I'm saying if they change the visual style a little bit.
Doesn't Blood Dragon take place at night?
The entire game, I think, does.
Isn't that why it's dark
supposed to be like one big?
No, I think it's more so the
nuclear fallout.
Yeah, I think it's more of a Matrix surface world type of a thing. Scorched Earth.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was talk about Far Cry or Blood Dragon being spun off into its own thing.
It should be.
I was just wondering if if you guys thought that Black Flag should have been its own thing. So because I mean, Watch Dogs looks like it could have been a modern day Assassin's Creed, and they just went ahead and made it its own IP.
Well, yeah, but I'm still waiting for some kind of link. There's going to be an Abstergo Industries post.
I think actually it's already been confirmed that there is
has it?
There's a security company in Watch Dogs that I think shows up in Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
But that's like a minor. If there's any more involvement than that, no one really knows. But there's like security pamphlets in Watch Dogs that link back to a company from AC3. So they exist in the same world. Plus, there's a lot of rumors that are floating around that Ubisoft actually placed Watch Dogs, AC3, and Far Cry in the same world. Like in the same
Far Cry?
Yeah, in the same universe. Like that island exists somewhere in the Assassin's Creed universe. So
you can land on it in Black Flag.
Yeah.
You probably wouldn't even know if you're on.
You wouldn't. You'd have to. Honestly, you'd have to look at an above view of Far Cry and then look at an above view.
I'm looking at the map tonight, and then I'm jumping on Assassin's.
Oh man, I'm kind of tempted now.
You're welcome, guys.
If I'm not mistaken, it may have been like a April Fool's thing, but I think there is a Far Cry reference in AC4.
Is there? I don't know.
somewhere. It might be hidden.
I'm
could be
googling
wrong.
AC4 Easter eggs as soon as we're
Okay.
done.
There's only been one AC4 Easter egg found so far, and it took 3 months for somebody to find it.
Well, that's a pretty big place. So,
Yeah.
all right. The last question that we have is, this reminds me, and this is from The Walking Dread. He commented on Justin Washington's question. He said, "This reminds me of a similar question my friends and I were discussing regarding video games and franchises, and why games don't have an issue with them nearly as, or why gamers don't have an issue with them nearly as fans of movies, Madden games aside, and if the story in these games really matter, or is it just the fact that you are getting familiar gameplay?" So basically, he's saying, why do movies get bashed for being, sequelitis more so than video games?
I think it's.
I
don't know. Because with movies, it's not like with games. Technology advances, the games get more epic and crazy and stuff. With movies, eventually they get to a point when they can do no more. Like, okay, how many times? Like, okay, like I love the Expendables movies.
Mm-hmm.
Not story wise, they're shit, but I love them for what they are. Action movie porn, pretty much. Now they're announcing 3, and it's like all they can do now is add people. All of the jokes are done already. All they can do is keep adding more action stars. So eventually, it's going to get to the point where those are going to be horrible.
Yeah, but
this next one has a decent chance of sucking, which really saddens me.
Walking Dread brought up the issue or the idea of like the story in the game mattering, or if it's just familiar gameplay. I think it really depends on the franchise. Call of Duty more so for me is the gameplay.
Yeah, I don't think people care so much if the story travels over too much, because I mean, some people don't even know what the story is.
No, but I don't know. I've played all the Halo games and I still don't know what the story is in that.
That's because you're simpleton.
That lost me at 2.
That's because they don't explain it.
It doesn't have to be explained.
It's because you have to go.
I'm kind of dumb, and
they
I get it.
explain it
so.
if you go out and buy the book series and then read all. It's one of those things that's what I hate about Halo is the fact that it's got a great story. If you take the time to immerse yourself in everything they put out for it.
No, you don't have to do that. That's like when people say the same thing to Mass Effect, which is utter bullshit.
I think I love Mass Effect. So
I love Mass Effect is one of my favorite games. That was on my
what little I've played of the first Mass Effect has more story in it than anything I've seen of Halo.
Well, yes, I agree with that.
And I only made it to the Citadel. No.
Wait, what?
What's the giant space station?
Citadel.
Yep. Okay, yeah.
Wow.
I made it there before I got lost and turned it off.
Most people get lost in the Citadel.
Citadel was huge. I loved it. I had that thing memorized.
I think with Assassins is I think it's the familiarity of the gameplay and the controls. Kind of, the controls tweak a little bit from game to game. Sometimes for the better, like from Assassins 1 to Assassins 2, or for the worse between Revelations and 3.
Yep.
Having never played Revelations, I can't say that the controls for 3 were bad. So
the controls for 3 were not good.
I wouldn't say they're bad, but they were not as good as Revelations.
I had a lot of fun murdering fools left and right. So
you had a lot of fun murdering drummers and rabbits.
I murdered entire squads of drummers. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, good. You picked out the one enemy that didn't have a weapon. Good job.
Anyways,
what made it
the issue with that 2 to 3 or Revelations to 3 was mostly in the free running mechanic, where part 2 Revelations rather required you to hold 2 buttons, the high what do they call it, the high context button,
the run button, and then the what'd they call it, it was the sprint and
the run and the free run.
Whatever it was, it already sounds complicated and boring.
Well, you hold the run button and the high context button, and he runs instead of walks. In Assassin's Creed 3, if you held that button that you've held for the previous 4 games,
he did everything.
He would jump
You
off
just have to steer him.
of whatever you were you were on. So if you got to the end of something, he would jump off. It became the jump button. Like you didn't need to hold it anymore, but if you did, he would jump off things.
Which they got rid of that in 4 because that's
Thank
not bad.
God.
Oh,
That was
bummer.
Yeah, now it's you hold left trigger,
Yep.
and then
And-
just your guys takes off.
Yeah.
And then I think the only
And it's
time you
X-
ever
it's
hit
X
A
to
or B
jump.
is
Whatever happened to the analog sticks actually being, I push forward a little bit and I walk and I crank it all the way and I run.
you can do that still, but only when you're like trying to blend into crowds.
With Assassins, it's how much you put.
You
At
hit the
least on
trigger. It's how much
at least on the PS4 controllers, how much pressure you put on the trigger.
Same thing on the 360. The more you like, if you squeeze the controller just a little bit, he does just like a little jog, and then the more you press it, he'll bust down to a full run if you go all the way. And then I pretty much the only thing you do is direction, left trigger to run, and then you can press A to jump or B to drop down.
And it's X to jump on the PlayStation, and it's circle to drop down.
Anyways, so Fran, like,
My God, we're boring you, aren't you? You're bored. Every time I listen to you talk about a PC game, I drone out. But when we're all three talking about Assassin's
the
Creed,
iPad minis are good for looking at.
no, I'm not bored. I'm just trying to get back to the actual question.
there was a question.
Yeah, sequels.
Woo!
Someone wrote a letter. What?
I think again, it depends on the. I don't know. I don't really have a problem with like sequels in movies as long as they get better, but usually they end up being trashed by the time the third one rolls around.
And I think
I
it's
like
because
to
of the
see
amount
numbers.
of time and effort and how much a game company kind of, it's life and death for game companies when it comes to sequels. I think more cares in a video game sequel than in most movies.
But when you think that a sequel, unless it's the Hunger Games or one of those young adult fantasy movies, like the average sequel takes 2 years to turn around, and most the respectable AAA titles, take 2 years to turn around.
Well, they have most, and with Assassins, with it coming out, I don't necessarily agree on the fact that a new game in a series should come out every single year. But I mean, like with Call of Duty, they have 2 separate teams working on the games, and they
They're
come
still
out.
taking 2 years. There's 2 years in between
Yeah,
the Treyarch.
But why do you think that works?
and they have separate
for-
teams working on Assassins games too.
Do you think that same model could work for movies and people would be happy with it?
No, because the movies would be too different.
Yeah,
Just like you can tell the difference between a Treyarch Call of Duty and a, well, now whatever, in fake Infinity Ward Call of Duty.
Fake Infinity Ward.
Really?
No, I agree. It's just funny because you boot that
It's
game
like if
up
I
and
put
there's
on a
like
Batman
5
outfit, I'm
company
like, well,
logos.
fuck, I'm Batman.
Do we call
now.
it Finite Ward now?
Finite Ward? I like that.
There are obvious sequels that are money grabs. You can feel it when you play it. You can feel it in the story.
Arkham Origins.
Yep.
Whoa!
Sorry,
And I
there
also
was something
think-
caught in my throat.
Wait a minute. Whoa, wait. I thought you liked Origins.
I liked it, but it was a blatant money grab.
I
Oh,
didn't even
yes.
play the game, and I called that.
I disagree with that, but okay.
I think it was a money grab, but like I said, it wasn't bad.
I think it
per
was
se.
them. I don't think it was a money grab. I think it was them trying to annualize it like everything else is annualized.
Yeah, and I think
Equals money grab.
when you're
yeah.
doing that to just it's monetizing
Okay, so
it.
is
What-
every single Call of Duty a money grab?
yes,
Totally.
Yes.
Easily. It's
is
not
every
even a
single
question.
Madden a
That's
money
not even
grab?
a question.
Yes.
Okay.
Now,
Madden
I'm
should
gonna...
be a yearly patch that you pay $15-$20 for.
Exactly.
Yes, update rosters.
Every single sports game would until they come out with something drastically innovative that involves
Which
putting
they
out-
take
Wait.
3 years to put together.
You know what's really funny? If I'm not mistaken, I think all of the current gen, say current gen and next gen Madden or EA games update their rosters during the season.
Yeah,
They
They
pull updates, roster updates, and
through the season, but I think all that
Injury
changes
updates.
is injuries.
still.
But that's not like
Why can't they?
Still, they're gonna when the next year when teams are the people are retired, new people come out, they're not gonna charge $10 or whatever. They're gonna put out a whole new game. Be like, here, you want these new players?
Oh,
Oh, I guess you have to
Now
pay
you can control
$60.
hot dog prices.
Listen, I understand that that's what's happening. I'm just saying that it's interesting that people they're doing these roster updates like we want them to do, or like like sports fans want them to do, but they're still annualizing the game. Like you're still
Yep.
getting, the stats for the players are still changing according to real world statistics and stuff like that. It's just that they aren't carrying over from year to
Equals
year unless
late
you buy a new
money
game.
grab.
I am going to say one thing. You said Walking Dread did the comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the off chance that we got it wrong, what he meant was, is it harder to jump into a game later in the series than it is a movie, or vice versa?
He just has issues with them nearly as much as fans of movies do. Because
I can get it's like watching a Marvel movie that comes out now. You kind of almost have to go back and watch some of the older
I don't
ones.
think that's it. I think he's talking about like Iron Man 1, 2, 3.
I know.
I
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is that Iron Man 2 doesn't make as much sense if you don't watch Iron Man 1, but you can totally pop in Call of Duty 20 or whatever and play it with no problem.
I think he's saying, are people sick of getting, when they hear Iron Man 4, are they going to be sick as anything with it, where video games get a pass?
Oh, I know. I was just covering the bases in case we all got it wrong.
No, I don't think he's talking about wading into a franchise. I think he's talking about sequel.
I wouldn't be sick if I heard Iron Man 4. I'd be quite excited.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be.
Even irony more.
Well, that's because your soul is slightly, crushed already.
Slightly?
His heart is 3 sizes too small.
Too small.
And it's made of granite.
Sorry, I know I'm like the only person on the planet that didn't care for Iron Man 3.
No, you totally. I am right there with
favorite.
you on a lot of points on Iron Man.
Sits around in the dark, stroking his number 1 dime, and just, yeah.
Is that his nickname for his penis?
Yes.
How dare you tell people that? That was between
I
us.
didn't tell him. Dime, because that's what it is in centimeters. I don't know. 10? I'm not sure.
Can I hang up on him yet?
Yes.
No. Woo.
Or do you think it's that moviegoers are more vocal than gamers because
No, we're vocal.
Oh no, we're way more vocal.
I think it's just.
I think
you
we're
think
more
gamers are. You think video games are more mainstream than movies?
No,
I think we're more vocal.
I think
because we're on our
community's
tables.
more vocal.
Right, but he's talking about how movie fans seem to have more of an issue with sequels than gamers do.
No, I think we
Okay,
have more of an
I'm going to
issue
go
with
back
movie
to the
sequels as
Mass
geeks.
Effect 3 ending. Nobody is bitched so much about the ending of a movie that they've gone and redone the ending of a movie.
what would you do?
Wait a
if,
minute. Yes, they did.
I don't know.
Which one?
They're going to unpunk Iron Man 3.
What? How?
What?
There is bonus footage that is getting attached to the Thor.
No, it's a one shot. It's a new one shot.
And it's attached
The
to
All Hail to the King one shot.
And I have a feeling that they're going to make him
They're going to
actually the
unplug
man.
Mandarin. Yeah, they're going to make it so it wasn't an actor.
If he ends up being like Moriarty from Sherlock, awesome.
Oh, he was just acting
the way they're
it.
leading it in is I have a good feeling if they do Iron Man 4, Mandarin's going to be the villain.
For real, with magic powers and the rings.
Good, because that was one of the things that really irritated me about that movie.
Me too.
I was going to say the only thing that irritated
did
me
make
about
me
Iron
laugh.
Man 3 was the breathing fire. That was the only thing that was like
They could do that in the villain in the comic. They can do that. The extremis.
I don't remember them.
They don't. No, they don't breathe fire, right? He shoots a beam or some crap, doesn't
Breathing
he?
fire, shooting a beam. What difference does it make?
It was
Lots.
extremis, and it was cool.
I would have been more okay with it if he shot the beam of fire out of his penis. That's all I'm saying.
But then it's a lightsaber.
That's for
a
Iron
ripoff,
Man
and Disney will. Nope, Disney owns them too. Never mind.
Okay, I have a question about sequels.
Okay.
Do you think we are less vocal as video game people because we have enough new properties coming out, whereas the movies we're not as excited about the new IPs and we're only excited about the sequels?
I don't know.
Are there? I mean, Assassin's Creed. That's only a 7-6-year-old property.
Well,
I'm not tired of that yet.
I think for me though, like when
That's what he's talking about.
well, I'm saying like when a movie sequel comes out and it comes out a couple years later, I never find it to be that big of a deal. I was like, oh, okay, they're doing a sequel of it. When a sequel comes out for a movie, like 8 years later, I was like, that's way too long.
Those aren't sequels. Those are remakes at that point.
Yeah,
Or
and
reboots.
and then when it comes
Amazing
to video
Spider-Man.
games, if we get a game on one system and then the next generation comes around and then they finally get around to doing a second one, I'm always like, oh, that's kind of cool that they did a sequel to that. Like, I don't feel automatic. Like, when it comes to a movie, I'm like, it just seems like they waited too long and they missed their opportunity. When it comes to a game, though, I just don't get as hurt about it. But You develop.
Insert Half-Life 3.
I guess, yeah, insert Half-Life 3. I think really when it comes down to it with games is I just think we become way more emotionally invested and spend way more time with the games than we do with the movies. The movies is 2 hours of your life.
2 hours. A long movie is 2 hours, and a short game is.
And Mass Effect 10. Is like 40 hours, or an Assassin's Creed game is like 15 hours of gameplay. And I mean, it's as involved as you want. There's your level of commitment can be to, I'm just going to play through the story mode and I'm going to be done with this. I'm going to put it on an easy mode. I'm just going to play through the story and then I'm done with it. Or I'm going to play this on a normal mode. I'm going to play through the difficulty. I'm going to do all the collectings. I'm going to collect all the readings. I'm going to do the audio logs. I'm going to listen to all this stuff. I'm going to read all the history. I'm going to get super into it. I mean, like, there was one of the guys I worked with was reading American Civil War and history books about the time period that Assassin's 3 was set in to get ready.
A lot of people did that.
I mean, it's interesting to me that Assassin's Creed has become that series that makes you want to learn about history and read up on the history of something.
If I go to Italy, I'm going to want to climb on all those buildings.
Joe, you will die.
Or
you will
Assassin's
literally die.
Or Assassin's Creed makes you want to become a vandal.
That too.
Just start ripping posters down.
Right. Way to give video games a bad name, Joe.
I think, to me, don't get me wrong, I think
what are you in Congress?
That movies are completely capable of evoking emotions and
Gone Home
getting you to connect, much like some games do. But I don't, for some reason, I just feel like that connection is more immersive in a video game.
I'll agree with you there, and I'll say that I think that's what games offer that movies don't, is that there is that level of immersion. There's a level of interactivity. There's that level like
you
when
insert
you're playing,
yourself into it.
Yeah, like you're playing, like when we were playing Gone Home, or like when you're playing Dead Space, and you're like, I'm gonna creep forward. I'm gonna activate that trigger point where the action is gonna start, and then I'm gonna, like, you know, piss my pants. I'm scared. Like, you're in control of that. Like, I can watch horror movies like it's nobody's business. They don't bother me because I'm not in control of that experience.
And I think that's a lot to do with it, is the control and but like I said, and the illusion of control. And I mean, I can definitely cite several, you know, emotional, you know, connections with, you know, certain games, and it's harder for me to pick out, like, there's probably a handful of movies that I can say, you know, really emotionally got to me. Like Requiem for a Dream always comes to mind when we talking about emotional connections or emotionally destroying somebody while, you know, watching something, because that movie's a kick to the nuts every single time. Or I shouldn't say every single time. I've only managed to see Requiem once, and I own it on DVD, and I can't bring myself to watch it again because it's so burnt into my brain that it's just, there's just so much emotion and so many highs and so many lows, and just everything's conveyed so well. But Mass Effect, so many emotions go into that for me as well, but I like to go back and play it over again and have a different experience and see how different reactions play out. And, you know, how being a female character versus being a male character versus being nice versus being just the biggest walking douchebag in the entire universe. I mean, there's so
literally
many manipulative levels to games like that, and so much immersion that makes it tailored to you. You don't have a choose your own adventure when it comes to movies. And when you do have a choose your own adventure when it comes to movies, it's super hokey.
You end up with Return to House on Haunted Hill on HD DVD.
No, yes. I will top that. Which Final Destination was it?
No, you leave Final Destination alone.
Dude, there was the one where on the DVD you could pick up the people who lived or died and it didn't matter.
You shut your face.
You know that sucked and you know it.
I didn't watch that version, but you leave Final Destination out of this conversation.
You could pick the thing. It would like pop up on the screen, live or die, hit left or right.
Haunted House.
They would end up dying in a different way later anyways.
Return to House on Haunted Hill did that on HD DVD as well. That was a lot of fun watching that movie. Okay, so with the way that Danner was describing games, do you think that video games may have more in common with TV shows than with movies?
No, it's a totally unique experience because it's
Right, but
your hand on the trigger.
Right, but I'm saying that you
More
have
in common with?
more in common with TV shows than with movies because TV shows
You have the
can
investment.
you have the investment with a TV series and they can go on for, a season of TV can be 12, 15, 25 hours long.
Huh. For all that, I can't think of a TV show that I've cried at the end of. Like
Oh.
I have.
Heroes.
Like I have
That brought tears to my eyes because it
You
sucked.
cried at Heroes, or
Because it was
just-
horrible
oh,
at the
okay.
end. You're just like, oh, I can't watch this anymore.
There are a number of TV shows that get me to cry.
I was gonna say there's a number of TV shows. There's a number of movies that have evoked emotions like that out of me as well.
But I was just
Sure.
curious if you, because there is only like that 2-3 hour investment with a movie, and the movie doesn't really change. There isn't a chance for them to like the writers to correct a story or fix a character that's gone wrong. Whereas with a TV show, the writers can, if they choose to, they can react to fan or critic reaction, and the series can progress and get better depending on feedback and ratings and whatnot. So I'm wondering if it's a legitimate question. Do you think TV has more in common with games than
I don't know. If I had to pick another form of media to compare video games to, it wouldn't be TV or TV or movies. I don't think it would be more like one of those old choose your own adventure books.
So
Honestly,
exactly like the same reference I already made. Okay, awesome.
oh, did you say that? I'm sorry.
No,
I just when you talk, all I hear is like the sound of cocks being sucked.
Well, your
Only for
brain
Mike's
is a-
benefit will I not make that sound into the microphone again.
Thank you.
Woo!
So I'll ask a legitimate question and we just drive it right into the ground with dick jokes.
It's Sean every single time.
I thought it was a good question, but
It
whatever.
was a
I
good
waited till
question
the very
until
end when
Sean ruined it.
I didn't ruin it.
Well, the
You
question's
ruined
still out there if we
everything.
want to have a conversation.
Well, I will stand by what I said. It's not. I don't think TVs or movies come close to what video games are.
I'm just asking if you think TV comes closer to
T-
video games than movies.
Maybe
I
just
think- I think
just
the
on the
emotional
aspect of time.
Investment
Of you
time
have to
investment.
invest. Yeah, exactly. You have to invest more of your life into keeping up with the TV show than
And
a
I think
movie.
much like a time investment into a game and a time investment into a TV show, it can be really, really good until the final episode or the final scene of the game
Yeah.
and completely blow it.
Yes.
More often than not, I believe that happens with TV than it does with games for me. But or there's certain things you just keep playing in the hopes that it's gonna get better. Or there's certain TV shows that you keep hoping is gonna be as good as it was in season one.
Definitely
and it
had
keeps getting
shows like that.
worse
Insert
and worse
Smallville.
and worse. Oh, I was gonna say Glee.
If I keep watching, it'll get better.
Because I
It'll
was
get
like,
better, I
I
know
keep hoping it's gonna get better, but
Hawkman's
it's
coming in 3 episodes.
They just announced that Glee is officially moving to New York next season, and I was like, nope, that's it. It's done. I can't do it.
Yeah, we'll see when it gets there.
I couldn't get behind. I mean, like the few episodes of Glee that I did watch, I thoroughly enjoyed. But the second it was over, I didn't care anymore. And it's nothing. I don't know what is. The show just never grabbed me.
I could go into a 20-minute conversation about all the things I like and dislike about Glee, but this is not the forum for that.
Thank you.
I like the gay kid.
Sean, Jesus Christ.
Being honest, I like the gay kid.
I thought you said I'd like them more if they were naked. I totally missed that.
So
like,
basically
it's
what we're
not that
saying,
kind of
so
thing.
regarding this guy's question, basically what we're saying is video games get more of a pass on the sequel thing because of
I think
investment.
emotional
attachment.
investment. Because it's one of those things that if you get into the first game and you like it, you'll stick with it.
Yeah.
If you play
More
the first
forgiving.
game and you're like so about it, you'll probably eventually pick up the sequel, but you're gonna wait a couple of years until it's like $5 or $6. I I think it's, and then there's some of us where I'm like, I miss like like I haven't played Witcher 1 or Witcher 2, and I know Witcher 3 is coming out and it looks awesome, but because I haven't played the first two games, I won't even pick up the third one no matter how good it is.
I don't think you have a way of playing the first one because I think it was PC only.
It was a PC only. And to me, that automatically takes me out of a series, because if I can't play something from the beginning, I've automatically kind of passed.
I don't know.
Screw that. I'm playing Witcher 3 no matter what.
Witcher looks cool. Like I was talking before about how with Assassins, when it comes to those points when it's either incredibly hard for me to get a copy of a game or I just don't have the system it plays on, I'll go to YouTube.
No, I can't do that.
Can't do it either.
Or I just go to Wikipedia and I read up about it.
I think watching YouTube videos and using that as the ability to emotionally attach yourself, or even
I don't use it. I only do that to games. Or
gauging a game strictly on a YouTube video is just the lowest form of being uninformed. Is to me. It just I don't know. I don't do it to do an emotional attachment. I do it so that if they make references in the new game, I can understand them.
Oh, you do it to catch up on the franchise.
What?
You do it to catch up on a franchise.
You use it as your cliff notes.
Yes.
You bastard.
Well, yeah. So when the third game's in, they asked me to write a paper about the first game, I can do it.
Because people are asking you to write papers about games?
No one's asking Chauncey to write anything.
Hey, I'm very not okay. I'm shitty at writing, but whatever.
I was still waiting for him to relate this back to penises somehow, because that's what he's done the entire time.
And yet you just did it.
And
I'm just saying, I'm waiting for it.
And in conclusion, papers are like penises because they both start with P.
Moving on. We're going to wrap this up before any more dick jokes come your way.
Giggity.
I just want to let everyone out there know that we are still taking nominees for the Game of the Year for 2013's Game of the Year. You can email those to us at feedback@geekcastradio.com. Just put Off the Cuff Game of the Year in the subject line. The rules are going to be in the episode post on the website. We also still have a free copy of Tearaway for the Vita, which nobody seems to want.
Nobody must have Vitas.
That's true.
They're all like, Vita's nice. Is it on DS?
Oh, it would look like shit on the DS. So yeah, we've got the free game, and we've got, which, by the way, I've been looking at my bank account statement for. I don't think I was ever charged. I think I actually legitimately ended up with a free copy of Tearaway.
Maybe that was our first freebie as a podcast.
Yeah.
Yep. Now say that it's brilliant. Say it.
That game was brilliant.
Thank you.
It was Amazeballs.
So,
I'd love to see that on the cover of a game as a
Amazeballs.
Amazeballs.
So if
this
you
game
want
is
to,
so good it will make you shit your pants.
if you want to share your thoughts and opinions on whether or not Assassin's Creed 4 is a good jumping on point, or if you want to talk about the difference in standards between like a movie sequel and game sequels, and yada yada yada, all that jazz, you can comment on our parent site at geekcastradio.com or send emails to us at the email address I mentioned earlier, which again is feedback@geekcastradio.com. If you subscribe to us on iTunes, please leave us a review and give us a 5-star rating, please, pretty please. But if you absolutely hate us, you can leave us 1 star, and then I'm going to ask you why the hell you're listening to us in the first place.
I actually have a question that's related to this for the viewers.
Oh.
Since we're talking about series and game series and stuff like that, is there ever a game in a series of games that has just made you go, nope, that's it, I'm done, I'm not?
So has one game ruined a
series?
series?
Has one game in any particular series ruined the series for you and just gotten you to say, nope, I'm done with the series, I can't do this anymore?
Mario Brothers 2 was balls. You couldn't even jump on anything's head.
I want to know what they think.
Halo Combat
Totally
Evolved.
kidding. I love Mario 2.
We don't care. Halo Combat, the first one.
Halo Combat Evolved.
I want to. Awesome. Not the first game in the series.
Oh, okay.
I'm curious. I'm sure we can come up with our answers for
Sonic
next
2 on the Game Gear.
we could come up with our answers next week.
Okay.
But, Final Fantasy X. But we'll delve into it next week. So yeah.
All right. That was the closing question among all the other ones. Danner, while I do this, if you want to find a sign-off quote.
I got one.
Okay.
Oh Jesus.
You can find myself, Michael Powers, on Twitter and PlayStation Network. I really need to update that because I almost said Xbox Live. At Booth Ninja 81. You can also find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Booth Ninja 81. You can, wow. Danner.
You can find me on Twitter at Art Danner or on PlayStation Network at X51 the Machine Man.
Johnsy.
Ben Shanzi Brown. You can find me on Twitter at Shanzi Brown. You can find me on Xbox Live at Weapon87. Eventually, you'll be able to find me on PlayStation 4.
You're gonna love it.
I know I'm gonna love it. I'm super excited. It's like,
Is it a long way away?
well, it's like every time I get like a step closer, something
I'm
happens.
pretty sure
It's like,
I'm gonna
shit.
have a new TV before you have a PlayStation 4.
I'm pretty sure you can suck a bag of dicks.
Always back to penises with that guy.
Joe,
No,
why don't
there's
you
a
close this
bag
out
of 'em.
here, man?
All right, you can find me on PlayStation Network at VivaIldFire405. And you can also find me on the Facebook page Geek Stuff Garage Sale. I would love to be found there. Pop in and say hi. It'll be cool.
All right, Shanzi, you said you had a quote.
Yes. DuckTales. Woo!